Boom, boom. This is Kendra. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Azur laying up today. So, as you know, we've got the event going on. First part, phase 1 of the Skybound Prelude. So, the second part of this event comes out in about, how many days here? So, roughly about, I guess it'll be about 3 days, 4 days. We'll be seeing the second phase of that. So, as I said in the last video, they sometimes do enter, whenever they have a rerun event, as this is Skybound Prelude rerun, they do usually enter a ship, a new ship inside of the actual dynamic, so that there'll be a new ship, and this is usually the ship it'll be in the build. You won't be required to complete the event. To complete the event, you won't need to obtain the ship and fully limit break it. It'll just be the basis for the ships. But we've got the announcement here, and it's going to be a new ship. Let me go to minimize this here. So this is going to be the new ship right here, Iris Libre, of course. So it's French naval. So Maille Breze, as you can see, she's a destroyer. So it is what it is. Also, she's elite, so she's not SR. So that's, again, destroyers. They're still not quite up to meta yet. They're getting close. Don't worry. They're giving the destroyer buffs that have come out in the last big update that they had there. It's assisting in making them a little bit better, but we still got to get that melee faction up to the point where it's becoming interesting. Now, she does have a shelling. She is an A in shelling, so we might be able to see. We'll have to see if it's something that is worth it. But again, destroyers are still not something that can be used successfully inside of the meta, simply because they just don't survive long enough to actually. And as you can see, her hit points are D, so she's not going to survive long. She does have an A in evasion, which will help. But a lot of the destroyers that have good evasion simply because of the fact that they are, of course, generally smaller ships, and because they're smaller, they generally move faster. So that's one of the but still an elite ship. We'll have to see. But anyway, she does have excellent graphics here. As you can see, all the facial expressions that you get from her under various type forms of stress, we'll say. So we'll have to see. But yeah, so this just announced this morning. So yeah, Iris Libre, French naval, and it's going to be Maille Breze, an elite destroyer. Okay, so we'll have to see. A Vaquilin class destroyer, we'll see. But hopefully they'll get it right one of these days, and we'll get to see some destroyers that we can stick inside of the meta. Until then, we'll have to just see. As you know, there's really not a whole lot of destroyers that you can look for in terms of usefulness. So let's go ahead and take a look at the destroyers, and we'll go get around here and see what we got. So probably the best destroyer that mostly everyone is most likely Javelin. Okay, now she's not bad. Javelin is not bad at all in terms of usefulness. She's one of the few that you can actually get some use out of. She has an exceedingly high torpedo stat, so she can do some damage. But again, hit points, half of what you need. And the problem is it's the fact that they use light armor. Okay, so anytime they're going to get hit with the shell, so anything like that, they're going to do. The light armor is just not good at all. Anytime you have light armor, you're gonna get that negative effect against you, which is why they die so fast, which is why you can't use them at higher levels. They try to mitigate this, of course, with making them a little bit faster with good evasion, but in the end it doesn't. They just when you get into higher levels with the amount of damage that's coming your way, it's just exceedingly difficult for a destroyer to survive, and you have to upgrade the light cruisers and things like that. There's a few that you can get by with. So Javelin's not bad. Yukika's is not bad at all either. Actually, she's one of the better. And she has a pretty good skill set as well. So if you're looking to bring something up, you want to do that. Another good one that I got pretty good use out of was Ayanami for a while. So you might want to give her a try. Of course, you've got Shimakaze, who's the new UR that just came out. I've almost got her up to 120, and we're going to see how she's doing. But she's actually not doing too bad at this point. Okay, so there may be hope for her, and she does a pretty good amount of damage, as you can see with torpedo. So sticking a rainbow torp on her would definitely be advisable. So you could definitely utilize her. I did not find C23 to be very good. I took C23. She was in my main fleet. She was my starter ship, actually. Even after the retrofit, still did not see that much from her. As you can see, pretty much a base stat. Some of the newer ones are better. I haven't used her quite a while, so I've taken everything off of her. Another one that you might want to consider is Eldridge. Eldridge is not too bad. Okay, now Udachi here is just got the retrofit, which is going to make her more powerful. It's going to increase one of her skills. You should, if you got the item, the barbecue sauce that was out there in the event before last, that is going to be required to actually finish the retrofit for her. So I hope everyone went and got that. But we saw some increase on her main gun. We saw some increase on her torpedo. Got hull improvement, some invasion. So she got a little bit of everything. So that that helped a lot. 120 hit points. So she got a lot more hit points, and she got a lot more firepower in terms of doing damage. So I think you'll find that to be useful. She got some evasion, plus 15 to evasion. So it succeeded in buffing her stats and giving her a little bit more damage. So I'm in the process of working on her. Had to sidestep that briefly to see exactly what we got from her. But I think that she's going to be one to really make a difference. None of these others are really much much in terms, but as you can see, they have a lot of destroyers. But again, the Maille is just not there. There's only a handful that are useful. Once you get up into story mode 10 and 11, really there's not a whole lot that you can do with them. As soon as I get Shimakaze up to 120, I'm going to go ahead and start sticking her in, doing some runs on 11, 12, and 13 just to see how her survivability is, and then we'll have to go from there. But I don't think I think for her, I think it was a damage modification. Is why they decided to make a destroyer in UR. I don't know. I really would not have suggested doing that until they've made it to the point where destroyers can at least have a slim chance of surviving in the higher levels. And there isn't anything that I've seen they can't. I mean, they can with the new buff, they can definitely survive torpedo damage. You can almost negate torpedo damage from that standpoint, but that's only torpedoes. That still doesn't handle shelling and aviation damage, which is what really destroys them, to be quite bluntful. As in in 12 and 13, when they start launching them from the aircraft carriers, launching all the fighters, and they just a ton of damage, and they just go down pretty quick because of the light armor. The plus 15 damage they take from that light armor. So yeah, until they can change, they really can't do much in terms of changing the armor, because destroyers always have light armor. That's just their mainstay. That's why they were so cheap. That's why they were so plentiful. I mean, the United States in World War II was just churning out an enormous amount of destroyers. Then most of them were getting sunk, of course, by U-boats, but which is why why they needed to continue to make a large amount of ships. And that's what they were doing. They were producing destroyers because they could usually produce them pretty quickly, which is why you see a lot of destroyers in here in the game. So yeah, that's where we're at from that standpoint. But so there is a new ship. And she does look pretty good. I have to say that graphically, they did a really good job. We'll go back to her, see her one more time here. Minimize this. So right here she is. So this is on Twitter. If you want to go to their Twitter feed, and you can see her. My assumption is she will be in the draw. When the second phase 2 drops, she'll be in there. And she'll be in the build section. So, you know, RNG. It's just the way it is. But you definitely want to go for her. So I know we just had Shimikaze out on the last one there, so people might have used up a lot of their wisdom cubes to get her. I did not. I didn't. I literally got her like 3 times. I got her like the second day of the event, and I drew her like 2 more times. I'm serious. I actually have in my, if you look at my actual depot here, I actually, not my depot, my actual dock, you'll actually see that I do have a bullet in there that I was planning on using on her. I'd purchased this because I was expecting to use it on Shimikaze to actually enhance her, limit break her, and I did not use it because I kept getting copies of her. So it was really ridiculous how many times I've got, you know, which was really nice because the last few events that they'd had, like Shinano, I got her like on the last day, literally on the last day is when I ended up pulling for her. So it was very nice that this one right here was pretty easy on me. But yeah, I think I ended up getting 3 copies of her. Was what the final tally was, so you know, I really did need up in using that bullet that I'd purchased. You can only get 1 a week, so I purchased it. And it before, because you know, once I got her on the second day, like I get a bullet, you know, go ahead and level her up, you know, and then I kept getting copies of her, and I think I ended up too. I think I used the first copy. The first copy I used her, a copy of her, and then I used a bullet, and then I purchased another bullet because I was going, you know, towards the end of it. But then I ended up getting her 2 more times, so I used those to do the final break. So I had that bullet left there. I mean, I got nothing to use it on because it's only good for you. It's only good for UR ships. So it's just gonna sit there until they come out with another UR ship, which, you know, still got to come out with a Northern Parliament ship. So hopefully we'll be seeing the actual flagship for that for the Northern Parliament ships, which technically phase out to be, you know, a Russian Federation. So hopefully we'll get to see that sometime soon, and then I'll be able to use that bullet when that comes out. Haven't heard as to when that's supposed to happen yet. Okay, so yeah, just wanted to go ahead and put that event out, let you know that there is going to be a new ship, destroyer. So for those of you hoping for another high damage, you know, battleship or a cruiser, or maybe even a carrier, no such luck. It's just a destroyer. But we'll get her because we need her to complete the collection. That's what we are. We are collecting ship girls. All right. So go ahead and thanks for watching. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Once you subscribe, you'll see the bell. If you click on the bell, most of the time YouTube will notify you that I've posted a new video. Otherwise, you can just come back and check periodically to see. And also remember to like and share the videos. That will help the channel immensely. This is Kendrick coming at you from the corner, signing out.